Okay, I lied. In my last video, I declared that in 2025, my goal was to not purchase anything from thrift stores and just use what we had in our home until church rummage sales season started in the spring. But then I landed at Ark Value Village in Golden Valley, Minnesota. It was amazing. I grew up not far from there. My best friend lived very close to there. I don't know if I landed on just a good day, but the hard goods section was so good. If you like watching me shop, that's in the beginning, and at the end of the video, I'm going to show you what I bought for resale and what I think it will get. So today I landed at Ark Value Village in Golden Valley. Let's go in and take a peek. So as you can see in the beginning, there's a lot of clothes. I'm not a clothing reseller, but if you are, you won't be disappointed here either. So their hard goods is right as you walk in on the right-hand side, 50% off pink tags. So I have to say in the beginning, I wasn't sure if this was going to be good or not, because in these first few shelves, you can see there's not much here. But as I kept going, it just kept getting better and better and better. Their prices were really, really good. The staff was very nice. You could hear laughter. People are asking, how are you? Is there anything we can help you with? That always sets a really good tone in the beginning. So I liked the workers there. They seemed really lovely. So it wasn't, like I said, wasn't great pickings, but look at the unique things that they have. Not great in the beginning here. It gets better. So I thought, okay, well, I'm here. I'm going to keep going. They had those little side end caps. They were curated. They had different ones for Valentine's Day. It was really cute. So I saw that 50% off these dolls. I don't know anything about dolls. I'm not sure. If you have a hint for me as to where to learn, I find dolls all the time. But like I've said before, I kind of have to like it, and I'm not sure I know enough and like it enough. I've sold a few. I sell ethnic dolls, little ones all the time that I find at the Goodwill bins, but those big collectible ones, do people still collect them? I don't know. Leave a comment below if you know the answer to that, if those are still collectible and worth learning about and picking up. They had quite a few pink tags. I don't know how often they rotate their color tags. I didn't look into that at all, but there were a lot of items that were marked pink. This was cute. It was like little outdoor tools. I bet you'd hang that out in your garden somewhere. Those were very cute and pink. But I did not pick those up because I went in with the idea of I'm not spending any money. I'm just going to showcase these, get familiar myself with these thrift stores in town, and I'm not spending money. Well, that didn't work very well. As you'll see pretty soon, my cart, I just kept, initially I was just going to look up comps and see what I could find. So I just started putting things in my cart, but that just kept growing and growing and growing. And I would share with you that looking up comps means doing a Google image search there on your phone, and then looking not what people are selling items for, but looking at comps, meaning comparables as to what they sold for. That's a very big difference. And if you're interested in learning more about that, I could do a video. Let me know also in the comments if you want more information on how to research comps. And it's very easy to do. So let me know. Paperweights, I like picking those up. This was the first thing that caught my eye, just the heaviness of this bowl, and look at the grain. So I needed to learn more about this. I ended up putting this one back. Could you tell? I was hesitating because I wasn't shopping. I thought, oh, just one thing. So that was the first item that I picked up. But again, look at the uniqueness of some of these things. These are different and better. I always do comparables to Goodwill. I'm not a big fan of Goodwill. There's a very, very nice Goodwill in Minnetonka. Those rows, the shelves are stacked. I'm not a big fan. I just think their pricing is out of line, just truly out of line. I've had people comment on my channel that, well, what do you expect? You resellers have ruined it for everyone. I don't think so. I'm gonna back up us resellers. Goodwill's pricing structure has just gotten out of control, and there are other stores in town that haven't gotten out of control. So I don't know. Resellers shop at these stores too, and they're not out of control. So I don't believe that resellers have ruined it for everybody. You can let me know again in the comments if you think I'm wrong. But this store is lovely. Lots of pink tags. The shelves were not packed, which ends up being okay because you're able to find some super wonderful quality pieces here. Again, I don't know if it was the day I was there or if this is how it always is. But if you're a collector, a reseller, if you just like to shop secondhand, check out Arc Value Village in Golden Valley. Truly, it was a great experience. I did notice some people in the book area, they were resellers. You can tell who we are by the phone, and we're always looking up things on our phone and running those comps. But other than that, I didn't see what I would deem a reseller in the area that I was at. This was a plate that I brought home. I did put this in my cart. This might have been the second thing that went in. Yep. And that one did come home with me. Their pricing was $1.99, $2.99, $2.49. I do think I bought a couple of pink things that ended up like 99 cents. So you really can't go wrong. I ended up spending $30, which is very different than what I normally spend. But I ended up with 12 items, one of which was a frame for personal use. I'm starting to collect frames. I got rid of all my frames years ago because everything's digital, but now I have pictures of my grandson printed. So I need a few more frames. I got a beautiful frame for $1.99. So the pricing was very, very fair today. That little vase with the bubbles on the outside, I really was intrigued by that one. I did a Google image search. Those ones with the swirls on the top, they were beautiful as well. Another question there, I went back to it, that little bubbly, I couldn't find anything that would deem it something that I should pick up. I couldn't find a good comp on that. If you know more about glass, or where I could know more about glass and learn, I'd be interested to hear that too. I know that heavy glass is often crystal, but colored glass, there's some value in. That's something I would like to learn more about. So if you can direct me towards glassware, that would be awesome. I did pick this up. This was a sweet little plate that landed in my cart. Did a little Google search and decided that one was worth picking up. So this is where I found the pink vase on my thumbnail on the cover photo. I had a real tough time. For me, it was just something, it was $1.99. For me, it was just something that in my mind, I'm thinking, well, that's pretty. I didn't quite realize. Now, the screenshot that I'll put at the end is what another online retailer is selling it for. That's not what it has sold for, but I'm going to use that as a basis for how I price mine. I also picked this up. I'll show you at the end as well. There were two of these. This was a turquoise Mexican pottery vase. Gorgeous. And when I went to go check out, the person checking me out commented on those. Those were fabulous. I should have been a little more careful with this one. I didn't quite realize what I had in my cart, but I believe that's Murano glass, and vintage 60s Murano glass is what I found out about that little pink one. So again, I'm going to price it high. That's where I'll start. And the eBay reselling world will tell me if I'm right or wrong. It'll show up really quickly. So my advice is price it high. If you're not a storage unit, but you also don't want to make a mistake and just hand things away when this is your income and your job. This is how we earn money in retirement. This is something I do. It started out as a hobby, and I'm choosing hobbies and jobs that are also able to make us money. But be fair with your time and your effort, and you deserve to make a profit as well as anybody else does. You did the work, you did the research. I've been doing this for about 7 years now, so don't feel badly when you start high and price things up, because the internet and the other people buying will let you know if it's too high. So there's nothing wrong with that. The other strategy I use when I don't know what something is worth is eBay auctions. And what you do in that case is that you will list an item for an auction 3, 5, 7 days, and starting price. I thought someone must have used that little box of candle holders for a wedding. They were from IKEA. You put your starting price at the minimum you'll take. Don't ever, 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 ever start it at 99 cents or $1.99, because that is truly what it could go for if there was no interest, or if someone knew what they had and made an initial bid, you must sell it at that price. So start it, if you want it to, if the minimum you'll take is $100, start it at 100. And that's another good way to find out what it's worth. If it doesn't sell, then you've priced it too high. So there's a few strategies on making sure that you understand what you've got. This was a whole entire basket of silver, and you always look for sterling silver. And I did sift through this basket, and I pulled out a pair of candlesticks that were sterling, and I did run a comp on them, but the value, they were $4.99 a piece. And when I ran the search on them, there wasn't that much profit to be had. So I put those back. I do like how those baskets are on the end caps like that. I think that's nice. A lot of people were shopping out of those, and I think those are nice. I've mentioned that you may want to ask or kind of get a feel of what the other shoppers are doing. Sometimes they don't want you messing with the things in the bins that they bring out, the racks that they bring out, because they want it to go where it's supposed to go. So don't always assume that you can shop from there. I have found some stores you can and some stores you can't, but I noticed a ton of people in this store shopping from the side bins. So it seemed to me to be okay to do that. That was beautiful. I was trying to be selective. I did not pick that one up, but look at how many plates and a wonderful selection of vintage plates and antique plates. And you can see, I said I was a little nervous when I first came in that there wasn't going to be much inventory based on those first few shelves, but boy, did it get a whole lot better. Did a video where I talked about Dr. Lori. If you don't know who Dr. Lori is, you want to look into her. She's a hoot, and she is such an amazing educator and does great videos. I did take a peek at this. It was not something there. It came in a whole set. There were glasses, tumblers, and it actually had some it wasn't all that clean inside, so I did not pick that up. There was alcohol residue. What I liked is that they put their plates into groups, so some of them were just too darn heavy to pick up, but they don't price them individually. They put tape around them and do them as a group. So that was a really nice cost savings when you're not paying $4.99 for each plate. And if you're just starting out and trying to learn, watch other resellers. That Dr. Lori is a great resource. Find other YouTube channels that can teach you what to look for and how to start out on this process. If you're retired and wanting to resell, start in your home. Your home has so many things, I'm certain of it, that you would be surprised that have value and that other people want. I did pick up this Lazy Susan. I could tell right off the bat with that little handle that it was mid-century. That one did come home with me. That's a beautiful piece. I paid the most for that one. That was just $5.99. That was the most expensive thing that I picked up. The others were $2.99, $1.99, and there was even a 99-cent piece in what I grabbed today. So that was the most expensive thing that I bought, was that piece for $5.99. So in the middle of the store was all the glass again and crystal, and on the other side was the glassware. I start by picking it up. I thought that was interesting. I maybe should have looked that one up with the little divot or the little curve in the end. I'm not sure what that was for, but I just start by picking it up. If it's heavy, that's an indication it's crystal. I have found Waterford, but you really have to search for that little label. But the Waterford is mixed in there. I look for things that are intricately cut, but I don't have a good handle on crystal versus glass. And the weight, having to ship that, it's not that intimidating to ship that. It's okay. You can bubble wrapping, and I've done some videos on how I ship breakables. It's okay to ship. Don't be intimidated to ship. I ended up putting that one back. That was an Avon piece. Don't be intimidated to ship. You may not want to start with crystal, but it's okay. trivets. I talked about trivets. I love hand painted trivets. I've made some good money on those. So get used to shipping by shipping things that aren't breakable. That would be my advice to you. But the breakable items will be something that you won't be intimidated to go ahead and try. But just maybe don't start first. I invest in really, really large rolls of bubble wrap from a company called American Bubble Boy. I used to get them at Walmart, but I've changed over and I get these huge rolls, about 4 at a time, of bubble wrap. And my husband works at a 1 day a week, 1 or 2 mornings a week at a men's clothing store, our friends. And he brings me home tons and tons of foam paper and packing paper because he helps with the inventory. So I have an entire large garbage bag full of packing paper. Tell your friends what you do. People saved so many boxes and those bubble packs, because everybody orders from Amazon now. So I'm lucky in that some mornings I'll open up our front door and I have boxes stacked outside already from neighbors. I don't know what this piece is. It's interesting. It's a little covered dish, but there's a hole in the bottom there. You can see the bottom. I just picked it up truly on its uniqueness, and I did run a comp on that. I couldn't find that piece, but I found the brand, and it's very high quality porcelain from China. So I did pick that up because it was $1.99. So I just thought at those prices, I'm willing to try and figure out, some sort of, I don't feel like I'm going to lose money on that. The idea is never, ever, ever to lose money, of course. And often just making your money back isn't the greatest because of the amount of time and energy and gas and bubble wrap and packing. I try and really save money on bubble wrap and packing. I don't spend very much at all. eBay gives me a coupon every quarter because I have a store. So I do get some eBay branded merchandise every quarter. But when you start getting serious and needing boxes, I think that might be one of the more challenging things, is having the right size box at the right time. I offer 1 day shipping on eBay. So you never know what's going to sell. And if you have something highly breakable and needing a bit of your time and you offer 1 day shipping, I always pre-bubble wrap and put in the box ahead of time, and then put a uh, sticker on the outside so that I am not trying to get out the door that morning knowing that I have some of these heavily breakable, bigger items, because that can get a little stressful if you need to be somewhere at a certain time. I thought these were gorgeous. Not a lot of resale value, but boy, those were pretty. So, that might not be a bad idea for everything, but then you're having a bunch of little boxes all over your house. You start to get used to it. Always put in your listing a little bit more weight. If you're selling on eBay, a little more weight for that box and packing paper when you do go to weigh your item. This was stunning. I didn't quite know what this was. And at the end, I'm going to show you where that Google image search will translate for you. So I'll put in some screenshots of what it told me this was. All I knew, it was beautiful. So I grabbed that for $1.99. These were these little end caps that I was telling you about. They were all decorated for Valentine's Day. So I tried to shop those a little bit as well. They were just a really lovely, lovely store. So I went over next to the window and I went through my cart and made sure that everything, because look at how crowded my cart was. This is from the person that wasn't going to buy any more. This was nice. I did do a little looking in the men's section. These were great. Some of them weren't, there were no size labels on them. Someone donated all of their large party shirts. They were polyester. They were bigger sizes. Bigger sizes always, almost in everything that you're going to buy in clothing, bigger sizes sell better than smaller sizes. Had they been silk, I would have grabbed all of them. Large size party shirts like that do really, really well. But not all of them were marked with a size, and they were polyester. But somebody is going to make, I loved that one. Somebody's going to make out great with those, because those were cool, and all of those were donated at the same time. So I'm guessing they were from the same person. But boy, I was really debating on that last one if I wanted to pick that one up. So I'm making my way into, just to show you, they had a little retro area of women's clothing that they put out. I feel like they have a personal shopper, somebody here that will help you. I don't know. I feel like I know that from somewhere, that this store has like a curator in their clothing. They're having a gala. The ARC Minnesota is having a gala event. So I'm thinking they want you to shop there and find some outfits to wear to their event. So if you're wanting to pick up items for resale and personal, they had a lovely amount of clothing and look, it's just nice items. So boots and shoes and handbags and scarves and jewelry was near the end here. And they had a nice little section once you paid for your item right next to the cash register. They had boxes, they had newspaper and tissue paper, and you could wrap up your own items and get them out safely. I thought that was a fantastic idea. And now for what I picked up and what I'm hoping to sell it for. This first item, I had no idea what it was. It was a white porcelain dish. It's very unique. I had no idea. I checked the label. This is the brand, and that set is selling for quite a bit of money, so I grabbed it. This is a Hebrew Lenox cup, and I found this sold comp while I was still in the store. This is what I spent the most money on that I talked about, this vintage mid-century Lazy Susan. And again, recently sold for that. That's an important piece. This was a very heavy labeled mug, and I found this comp for two of them for $103. That seems high. It wasn't sold. I'm going to list mine less than that. This one I found on a website. I couldn't find much about it, but they're asking $338 for this Murano vase. I'm going to price mine high. I also didn't see this exact item on eBay, but I did find a listing on Etsy for just a single vase, very similar. They wanted $28.75 for it. This caught my eye right away. It just has a look about it. Ran a comp and found this on replacements.com, which is another place that I look. They're wanting $29 per plate. This was Limoges. Beautiful. I just love the pink. I love the florals. I couldn't find an exact one. I'll list mine for about $20. This was interesting. When I run a Google image search on the Japanese writing, it comes up Japanese to English. It tells you exactly what it is. I just found this feature. Google Lens. You put it right on the writing and it'll tell you what you have again. So use that feature. Google Lens is your very, very best friend. I'm going to price this one high as well.